Hello everyone, welcome to this crypto video with Sjoerd. I found some really interesting information I wanted to share with you. So we're going to talk about the other side of the coin today. So I want to share you some really exciting stuff. So definitely stay tuned until the end of the video. But before we get into that, guys, subscribe to the channel, leave the video a like, and comment down below if you have any comments or questions. I'm always open for feedback, so please let me know if the lighting is good as well, and the background would also be helpful. Every subscribe to this channel is a very big support for me. I just started out, and I want to provide daily updates with valuable information because there's a lot of misinformation in the space, and I want to do my part to tell my view and what I see in the market and what we need to tell to the world. So that's that. So first, before we go into the video content, guys, I want to share you a little story, and it's quite a coincidence. So let's get into it, and then we'll go into the content. So this should be okay, guys. So today an article came out about Ray Dalio, the biggest fund manager of the world. He's the founder of Bridgestone. It's a big institutional investment fund. They oversee around $160 billion in total for a lot of institutional clients. And today he is calling for cash is trash. So I wanted to point that out, guys, because today I received a letter from my bank. It's one of the biggest banks in the Netherlands, and it's called ABN AMRO. And they told me that we're going to get negative interest rates in this country. So wherever you're watching from Europe, America, Australia, doesn't matter. This is proof for you that interest rates negative interest rates are real, and they are coming to your country as well. So I wanted to share this with you guys. So basically in this letter they inform everyone that negative interest rates are real and they are coming. So it wasn't a surprise for me, but still when you see it with your own eyes, guys, that it's happening, it still gets me a little bit, like it brings in emotions, let me say that. So basically they made a spreadsheet for the amount of money you have in the bank. I'm trying to and show you, if you can see it. Okay, so if you have more than 2.5 million, guys, you pay a negative interest rate of 0.5%. Okay, below that you don't have to pay anything yet. But I have also read another article from the AD, which is a big paper in the Netherlands, and they are seeing for this decade, at the end of this decade, they are predicting the interest rates to go to negative 2%. So that means if you own 2.5 million, you will be paying the bank 50k per year to just deposit your money with the bank. And at the moment that's 12.5k, and this will be starting from the 1st of April. So 1 year after the start of the big bull rally, guys, of the big rally of Bitcoin in 2019, 1 year later, Netherlands, we are seeing negative interest rates, and so I wanted to share it with you guys. So it's quite a big deal, of course, to see it with your own eyes. And what Ray Dalio is pointing out, of course, in here, as I've learned in my life, guys, lifetime, that words mean things, and what he's saying over here is real, guys. Cash is becoming trash. So if you look back at the interest rates of the last 40 years, we can see that over here money was expensive for everyone. If you had like $500,000 or $1 million over here, you were someone with a lot of money, I think. I remember that from my grandfather, who used to work as a bookkeeper. He had his own company, and he had at the end of his lifetime quite a nice amount of money. And I remember there was in that time it was a lot. But since then, guys, you can see over a period of 40 years we have a straight downtrend, just only going lower and lower. Interest rate is going lower and lower, and that tells me money is going from expensive to cheap. And at this point in time, guys, we're going into the transition of cheap to trash. And the biggest fund manager of the world is pointing that out, also with some other information. But he is very conservative at this point in time with his investments. because he sees a big crash coming. He has also wrote an article about the world is gone mad, about negative interest rates and the central bank's policy. But basically what this means, guys, the negative interest rates means that the normal day people, they will have a job and they are working, they have to pay money to deposit it with the bank. And the banks, the governments, the companies, they can borrow money and get paid for it. So as of now in the Netherlands, when the governments, for example, lend 1 billion euros, they get paid in millions to do that. So they get encouraged to lend money. And so if you go over this paper, guys, you come to the second point I wanted to mention as well. Is that nothing is what it seems in this world anymore, guys. Don't trust anyone what you read, because they try to trick you. It's not only the market makers in the market, but also the governments. So here the bank is saying on the back of the paper, it's describing why are the rates going down. And the reason they are saying here, guys, is because more and more people are saving money. Okay, this is the biggest bullshit I've heard today. Because yeah, I do not believe this. I think a lot of people are spending their money they are earning. They are living paycheck to paycheck. And the real reason they are lowering interest rates, and the interest rates are this low at the moment, is because the economy is weak, guys. They make us believe that the economy is strong, but if you have a strong economy, you are raising interest rates and you are not lowering them. So this is a bad sign for me, and this is not only happening in Europe, this is also happening in the USA, and they are doing everything to keep everything in place, so the bubble won't pop. But yeah, we'll see what happens. But I predict for this decade, nothing keeps going up forever, guys. So yeah, I just wanted to point this out. Very interesting. So yeah, okay, let's go on to the content of the video, the interesting stuff I found. So also, of course, the title of this video, I found a trader on YouTube with some great content, and he predicted the move from 7k to 14k and some other moves as well. So I'll share those step by step with you. And after that, I'm going to share, of course, what he sees for the near-term future. So where the market is going. And in that point of view, you will see the other side of the coin. Because everyone in the market is just only has one plan and one scenario, and that is that we will go up. And what he is saying as well is when the majority of the people think one way, the market tends to go the other way, and the masses are always wrong. So I wanted to point that out. And let's go into the video. So we'll start with this video of I think in June or May, doesn't matter, June. Okay, this video did not get any likes, any views, guys. It doesn't matter to me. Okay, it's a valuable video for me. This guy, I've been following him for quite a while now. I think for more than 6 months, and he provides some valuable content. And is an experienced trader. He trades for a living, and you can see that he in his analysis he knows what he's doing. So I don't care about how many views you have. You see YouTubers with 100k followers who are only talking bullshit and who are saying you are running out of time to buy one Bitcoin. Okay, I don't buy that shit. I have a smell for bullshit. So that's the same shit they are telling you over here. That people are saving a lot of money and that's why they have to lower interest rates. That's just bullshit, guys. It's just they want to stimulate the economy and they want to prevent recessions because yeah. They don't want bad things to happen, of course, because the last financial crisis is a little bit more than 10 years ago, and people are not going to accept it. I think if they find out that the financial system is broken. Okay, that's my opinion only. Since 2008, I think this system is not sustainable. You cannot pay off debt with new debt just for a decent amount of time. Okay, but after that you have a big problem. So we'll see what happens. It's also one of the reasons I learned more about crypto, about investing and finance, because the financial system is the same as crypto, guys. It's very difficult for normal people to understand. Once you think you know something about it, you realize you know nothing about it. It's so difficult, and it's the same with crypto technology or blockchain. Once you think you understand how this technology works, you find out, yeah, you still know a little bit about it. So that's interesting, but it's also one of the reasons a lot of people don't know anything. They don't know what this means. Okay, I think they will receive this letter at home and they will just to be like, okay, whatever. And probably in 10 years, if we look like the 2030, if we look in hindsight 10 years back to this period, and we'll look back like, oh my god, didn't we realize what was happening? Okay, what they are doing. Okay, so let's move on, guys. I want you to show you the calls this trader made, and just to show you that he has a good eye on the market. He really zooms out and tries to evaluate what the market is doing. So for example, in this part of this video, he called for the rally from 3k to 9k to continue, and he was saying that we would see a rally from 7k to 14k. And that of course happened, so I want you to share that with you in this video. I'm going to put the sound a little bit loud, so I hope you can hear this well. And it's also a good moment for me to take a little break with talking. So let's see what he has to say about the first part of the rally, guys. And then I'm going to show you the other calls as well that he made. And okay, let's go.
Yeah. But there is an argument for continuation trade, right? Where we came up, we had this move. This move was about $5,900. We came down, did some consolidating, and it's entirely feasible that we might see a continuation of another $5,900 from these lows, right? Lows are right around $7,400. So guess what? If it goes up $5,900, look where that puts us. That'll put us right about 13.3. That's awful close to our 61 fib, is it not? Very, very close. So could I see this thing going to 13.5 without first correcting? Actually, I could, right? But again, I don't have enough information to buy Bitcoin at $9,000 just because I hope it's going to go there. I don't feel comfortable buying there. Okay, maybe you do. I'm not telling you to buy it. I'm not telling you not to buy it. I'm just showing you the bearish side of the scenario, and I'm showing you the bullish side. Now, if it goes up to 13.5, I would feel very strongly that we would then have a correction that would probably last 45 to 60 days. And in that correction, I would expect price to come back. And again, these are guesses, folks. We don't know what's going to happen. Nobody does. But what I would expect is price would come back down, do some crazy stuff along the way, and probably fall back down somewhere between $71 and $5,500, somewhere in this range.
Okay, guys, so as you can see, he called the move towards 14k, a little bit above this 0.618 fib. Remember that one, because it's an important indicator a lot of traders use to analyze and see where the price might go to in an uptrend or a downtrend. So it's basically a retracement level that Bitcoin respects very well. I will also show that in the charts later, but more about that. So basically he called the move to 14k and he called the retracement to 6 or 7k, which both happened. The only thing he was a little bit wrong on was the timing, because he expected it to go sooner, to happen sooner in a shorter time frame. And that also has happened to me. I also expect Bitcoin moves to go faster, but until now everything takes longer to play out. That's also what he experienced and told in his other videos as well. He was expecting it to only last like 4 to 6 weeks, and then we would be back at 6k. And as we all know, that didn't happen. We were consolidating way longer, about 10k, above 10k. We were like 3 months or something. Okay, but that's just that. So that are two really nice calls, guys. Before they happened, you already saw them coming. So a big shout out to him, of course. Really nice to see as well on this chart. And now I want to show you the calls he made on Litecoin. I'm going to take my time for this so I can do it. So I'm sure I'm doing it at the right time of the video. Okay, so 11:34, somewhere like that. Yes, thank you. Okay, here's a short chart of Litecoin, guys, and now he's going to call the top, very close to the top. And also he's going to tell you how much it's going to correct, and he's going to tell you that in this video, of course, and I will tell you the real numbers and how close he is to the percentages. So also this call is very accurate, guys. I've been following this guy for quite some time. I really knows what he's doing. and he has way too few followers for the content he creates. He has only like 3k followers, but his charts are really good. So he has a very nice, very detailed analysis of the market. So definitely give him a follow as well. Okay, let's see what he has to say about Litecoin, guys.
To think that maybe Litecoin is done, right? We're moving into this halving. I'm really looking more for a spot to unload the rest of my Litecoin. Alright, still about 35%, cashed out 65% already, and I'm just looking for a place to sell, right? And then if it does go up, I would like to buy some Litecoin back, not all of them, because some of those were just bought for the sole purpose of trading them. But I'd like to buy some back to hold, right? If we do go up to, let's say we just go up to 205, just ballpark it here. Might be able to buy back around $60 to $91, so in that range. That'd be kind of cool. I'd be totally happy with that. If we go up and test a 38 fib and fail, maybe $55 to $80, I'd probably be a buyer down around $60. And again, we'd have to see what the charts look like and see what's happening and all that kind of stuff. It's tough to say. You can't just say, okay, a month in advance, okay, this is exactly where I'm going to buy it. But ballpark, $50, $60, maybe somewhere in that area. So if I can sell for 130 or even 170 would be amazing, and then buy back, I could double or even triple the amount of Litecoin for the same amount of cash. So it'll be interesting, right? It'll be interesting. The other thing that remains to be seen is if this does, run into this, starts to dump, maybe it goes up and then just starts dumping real hard. The last Litecoin halving resulted in the coin dropping about 70% over the course of about 7 or 8 weeks.
Okay guys, so his call is only $9 away from the top. So if we measure that in percent wise, he was closer than 10% of calling the top. So that's really accurate and really great job. And after that he called a 70% correction for Litecoin. And I measured it was around 75 in total until now as of today. So also that call was very accurate, guys. So definitely proves that this guy really knows what he's talking about. And for me as well, I learned a lot from him. He has a lot of experience in other markets as well. And I think he also came in 2018. He also bought in the 6k range, bought in the 3k range, and then sold 65% of his portfolio at the 9k rally. And then at the last rally from 7k to 14k, he sold the rest of his portfolio, I think. You can check that out in his videos as well. But I just wanted to share this with you guys to first show you that this trader has some accurate calls. And I also want to share with you what he sees for the market as of now. Because he has a different view of the market and also the other side of the coin. So don't be shocked, guys. I'm not trying to share any FUD or to make you scared. But this guy is calling for $1,300 Bitcoin. So what this means, guys, is he is seeing an ABC correction. So that would mean that we have an A wave, a B wave rally, where everyone thinks the bull market has started, big correction, and when people find out that it's not a bull market, it will be ugly, and it will end up ugly and end into a lower low, result into a lower low. Basically, that's the theory of an ABC correction. He's not the only one who's thinking that, by the way. There are also some other people. I'll show that later as well. But let's go into this part and look at what's his analysis behind the 1.3k Bitcoin call. And I just want to show you guys this, not to scare you, not to spread any FUD, and just to show you the other side of the coin as well. And because this video has needs way more exposure, because all the people, I think 90% of the people only look at one side of the coin, and that is the halving, and they expect the price to go up because it happened in the past as well. But we also have to think into scenarios, guys, and always look at both sides of the coin. For example, if you have two friends who are in a fight, what do? You listen to both stories, guys. You listen to George and you listen to John, and you don't listen to one side only. And the same thing with this market, guys. You want to look at the bullish scenario, but also at the bearish scenario. I do think, in my opinion, this is far-fetched. And as long as we are above the 200 weekly moving average, I don't see any reason to be bearish. Meaning bearish means Don't get this guy wrong, don't get me wrong guys, being bearish just means that you expect lower prices. This guy is a big bull on cryptocurrency, but for now he expects lower lows and lower prices. And I will show you later as well what he will do when we get there, if we get there. Because yeah, this is a bull inside of a bear, right? A bear inside of a bull. So that means for the short midterm he's bearish, but on the long term he's bullish on the market as well, or he wouldn't be here. Of course, I'm making videos about it. So let's go into this part of this video about his arguments for the 1.3k Bitcoin call. And he did this, guys, in the middle of the summer of 2019 when we were in a big rally. So big props to him. He doesn't care what the market does. He has his own view of the market and he sticks with that. So that you can also see that he has a lot of experience. Most people flip-flop from bullish to bearish really fast in price swings. And he just stays with his view of the market. So, okay, let's go into his content, guys.
Correction. This is cryptocurrency, and we all know that cryptocurrency can move very, very quickly. A lot can happen in 2 months. You know, if you look, the peak at $20,000, just shy of $20,000 in December of 2018. Well, by February, just 2 months later, not even 2 months later, about 45 days later, the price had fallen by $14,000. So there's absolutely nothing that says it can't fall from $12,000 to $1,300 in 2 months. It's made bigger drops than that already. And if this is a B wave, like some experts and some technical analysts are suggesting, it's going to fall fast. As soon as people realize it's not a bull market, and as soon as people realize it's not going to retrace and then keep going up, we're going to see panic selling like never before. It's going to make this stuff back here look silly. There's another reason that $1,300 makes sense. What you're looking for in a bottom is what's called a capitulation candle. And a capitulation candle is basically a candle with a long tail on it. And it's a signal that your holders, your hodlers, are finally capitulating and they're giving up. And so normally in the bottom of a market cycle, you get that. And if you look, if I move this green line for just a second, we had it. See this big tail right here? That was the capitulation dump. Okay? See if I zoom in? Right there's the tail. That is capitulation. Okay? But if you look at 2019, 2018, we never had a capitulation candle. We just went sideways and then all of a sudden started going back up. That does not look like a bottom. That looks like a B wave. There were no corrections on this move. That does not look like a bull market. It looks like a B wave. Okay? I'm just talking logical. I'm not telling you that that's for sure what's going to happen. You've got to set your emotions aside. If you've got a bunch of money in crypto, you're emotional. There's no doubt about it. You don't want this thing to go down. I get that. Listen, I still have money in crypto. Just because I cashed out 90% of my portfolio, I had a fairly large portfolio. I still have a fairly large amount of money in crypto. Like, enough money that it would be very painful to lose it all. I'm just saying this is a possibility. We didn't have a capitulation candle. Okay? We got 2 months until this time frame resolves itself. And we didn't have any corrections on the way up. So this could totally come down and make a new low. And then if that's not enough to make you think it's logical or at least possible, let's do some math. The market cycle everybody talks about is the 2013 crash. But in 2011, Bitcoin actually went up to $32.
Okay guys, okay, then we have this part. I want to continue with this part, of course. So here you can really see the ABC correction he is calling for. So the A and then the bear market rally basically is the name of the B wave. I've also seen other people call this bear market rally with retracement to the 6.618, what he is saying as well. So he's not the only one, but in this video he explains it really well and what happens often. So let's move on to this.
If we make a new low, I think that when we go into the next market cycle, you know, if you're talking about institutional money, these institutions that are wanting to invest, you know, hundreds of millions of dollars as a group, how willing are they going to be to buy? They understand the way this game works. They know what a B wave is. You know, if it comes into $1,500, they're not going to go, oh God, I'm not investing in Bitcoin. We're not doing that. That would be the point where the, you know, maximum gain and least amount of risk, right? That would be exactly the type of price where an institution would love to get into this market. So I'm looking at that going, how interesting is that? Institutions would love to buy down there. It's, you know, probably in the ballpark of what it costs to actually produce a Bitcoin. We did actually have this really weird rally where we didn't have any corrections at all. It looks very similar to how a B-wave, you know, if you go look at the person that actually came up with the whole B-wave theory, they talk about how, you know, if a market is going basically straight up and it's not acting natural, if it doesn't look like a bull rally, it's often because it's a B-wave, okay? Just some really interesting stuff. Now, I'm not going to be sad if it goes down here because, like I said, I think it would kick off the biggest bull market that we would ever see. I think that would literally be the type of catalyst that really could push Bitcoin up to, you know, the $100, $125, even $250,000 mark that people like Tim Draper are talking about. You could absolutely see it, because once you get that low, there's going to be people like me. I'm a very conservative investor.
Okay guys, I'm going to wait until we continue here, because he's going to say very interesting stuff at the end, but that's for the end of this part. So basically, to sum up what he's saying, guys, basically he's bearish for the calling for 1300 Bitcoin, but when we get there, he's going to buy. So basically, what he's saying, he's not negative on the market. He doesn't think it's going to zero. He's being bearish within a bull. So basically, he is bullish on the market, but for now it's too early to be bullish, in his opinion, because he's calling for too fast of a rally. This is not sustainable, and it's not the start of a new uptrend, what everyone thinks. All the YouTubers with 100k plus followers all think we are in a bull market. We are all going to 100k at the end of the year, probably. And yeah, what I see is that the people with the big experience in markets, that know how markets work, that markets tend to bottom after capitulation, and that we haven't seen a real capitulation yet, are calling for at least $4,000 per Bitcoin. So they are still negative and bearish. So that was a little bit of that. Okay, so basically he's calling for the biggest bull rally Bitcoin has ever seen, guys, after we hit 1300 with the capitulation wick. And the institutions, of course, the smart money buying over there, and all the retailers, so are probably not going to hold. Because for example, guys, if you buy your Bitcoin at 6, 7 and 8k, are you really going to hold when we are at 1.3k? Certainly when you're young. I don't know, guys, I don't know if I was able to hold that. Because if you're very young, you tend to panic, and then you tend to sell at the low, and that's of course not what you want to do. So definitely take that into account in your own analysis. If you are emotional and you are if you don't like what you're seeing here, then maybe you have too much money invested right now, and you should reconsider your strategy. Because it's always good to look at two parts of the coin and the market, where it can go. And I completely agree with him. That when people find out it's not a bull market, if that is the case, if that's going to be the case, and we do break the 200 weekly moving average, guys, which is around 5.5k, if we get there, then yeah, of course we're going to see a big panic sell-off, and we are probably going to see a retest the 3k bottom, and probably lower, guys, probably lower at that time. But I wanted to show you this, of course. I have 2 fragments left of his videos, but first I want to add something to this. To the reasons why he's calling for 1300 Bitcoin. So let's go into the chart. Okay, so over here I mapped it out for a little bit. The case for 1300 Bitcoin, guys, because he started his analysis with the 618 retracement, 0.618, which a lot of traders with a lot of experience use. And Bitcoin loves to retrace to it. So for example, I can show you how it works. This is the BLX chart, which means it's a logarithmic chart, so it's zoomed out. That's also a very important thing. He always stresses in every video that he really thinks that a lot of people in this market are way too zoomed in. They're way too much looking like this, and he always tells you to really zoom out. Okay, so what I wanted to show you is the fib retracement, how it works and how Bitcoin tends to navigate to it. So over here you can find it if you have a pro account. Fib retracement, you go basically in a downtrend, you go from the top of a rally to the low of a drop, which was over here, and then we see a retracement, which means a pullback to the upside and where it tends to go to. So how do they predict where the price is going to go? When they are trading, they're planning their trades, they look at the 618 retracement, which is lining up quite nicely because Bitcoin went there and couldn't stay there and got rejected. That's just one example, guys. I'll show you another one, and you can see that this really works quite well in Bitcoin land. It tends to support this. I always use the magnet as well, makes it easier to draw. So we have this high. You see we have this first low, lower high, and then we have this low, I think, yes, this low. What do we have right here, guys? We have the 0.618 right here, and what do you think happened? The price went back up there, got rejected and sold off. So what you can see from this is that Bitcoin loves to retrace to the 0.618, which is a percentage retracement. These are just two examples. If we, for example, take this chart, let me see. Yes, so we take the high of 2017 and we take the low of 2018, and we do a fib retracement on that to see how high the pullback is going to go of the B wave rally as he sees it. Okay, we have to see what happens, but this is how he looks at this scenario. And where does the 0.618 come in at? As he showed out in this video, around 13.5k, and of course we shoot up a little bit over that, and we got rejected really fast. It happened in one day this week. Boom. So as you can see, guys, this is what traders really look a lot, use a lot, and look a lot at. So if you do that for the move that happened in 2016 and it went up 2015 or 16, so the big bull market that went up to 2017. We can do this in this. We have done this in this chart. We've measured this from, let's see, from this point, guys, over here to the top, and we can see what the retracement would be. So if last time we did it from the top to the bottom, and now we can see the pullback, and now we did it from this rally, so the low to the high, and then we can see how low is the bottom going to be. Okay, this is pure speculation. This is only for informational purposes only. I'm not saying you should sell your whole stack of Bitcoins. Sure, I'm not saying that. So just for information purposes, guys. Okay, so we bottomed at the 38.2, which is a first retracement in the bear market, and he's expecting a second retracement with a lower low to the 0.618. And where does that come in at, guys? Around $1,200. And that would also line up with his other reasons for this theory. First of all, what you see in previous bull markets, guys, and bear markets, what you saw over here, is that we had a high and we retested it in this bear market. Okay, so we came back in a capitulation wick, we retested this high over here, and this is the close, and we tested it for support, and after that we had the big bull market. Sorry. After we, am I saying that correct? Yes. So yes, of course the capitulation wick, we had the accumulation, and then we had the big bull market. And if we look at this rally bull market over here, if we had to retest it for support, it would be at $1,200. And it tends to do that in previous cycles. So that is one of the reasons he's also calling for that. And the third reason would be liquidity gap. Let's see if we can find it. I can explain it as well. Liquidity gap basically means when you have an uptrend with a higher high, you basically come down and you retest the previous high, and you test it as support, and then you go up again and you retest this high over here, and you have this stairways pattern, guys, to the upside. And what we see over here, we never came back at this rally. We never came back to retest it. So for example, we had this higher high, but we never came back to 1300 to retest this level. So that basically means there's a gap. And that's how traders look at it. This also accounts for the traditional markets and stocks. But yeah, they tend to get filled, that's his opinion, and that's why he's also strongly biased to this theory. To this belief that this is going to happen. So that are the three biggest reasons. So reason number one, this 0.618 fib. Bitcoin loves to pull back to that level in an uptrend, but also in a downtrend. So in the bear market as well as in the bull market. So for example, we had the bear market, then we had the bear market rally in this view, to the 0.618 and a little bit above. And if you do the bull market fib extension, you would line up quite well with this level over here. And the second point he is making, guys, is panic. So we haven't seen the real panic yet. And if you go to a market cycle and you look at how markets work, in his opinion, we are not in this stage, guys. Everyone thinks we are in the disbelief phase. We are at the start of a new bull market, just at the beginning of, which I think is also very possible. Of course, with the halving coming up, and yeah, we are not really seeing lower prices yet, so it seems far-fetched, to be honest. But in his opinion, we are in this stage, in the complacency stage. And if you think about this, guys, for yourself as well, and you look at your own emotions in the market and what you feel. Yeah, I can agree with what he's saying, complacency. I have the feeling as well that people are leaning back and think we're all going to go to new highs. And that's most likely the point where you start to see come anxiety into the market next. After that, and then denial and panic. Okay, is my cam still working? I don't know. I'm just going to continue the video. We'll see what happens next. Oh, I think it was lagging a bit. Okay, guys, so in his opinion, can we pause? Never mind, let's continue. So in his opinion, we haven't really seen a real panic yet and real capitulation. People leaving the market, taking their loss. Okay. So of course, guys, when we see panic and capitulation, of course it can go really fast and we can see a lot happen in a short time. But as long as we are above this 200 weekly moving average, guys, I see no reason to panic or to sell if you are holding Bitcoin right now, to be honest. That's my opinion as well. No financial advice. Because when generally markets are above the 200 weekly moving average, you are in an uptrend. So, okay. But guys, what happens after that? What is he telling us after the big drop? What does he see for the market then? And that's when it gets really interesting as well to take a look at that. Let me find the right video. Yes. Okay, so at this point, guys, when we get there, he's calling for this move.
It goes down here because, like I said, I think it would kick off the biggest bull market that we would ever see. I think that would literally be the type of catalyst that really could push Bitcoin up to, the 100, 125, even $250,000 mark that people like Tim Draper are talking about. You could absolutely see it, because once you get that low, there's going to be people like me. I'm a very conservative investor, right? I never invest more than I can afford to lose. I just don't. But I have to be honest. If I saw $1,800 Bitcoin or $1,500 Bitcoin, I would probably go do something really crazy, like take out a second mortgage on my house to buy Bitcoin. And if that's how I feel as a conservative investor, imagine how all the not so conservative people are going to feel. Imagine all the hundreds of millions and billions of dollars that is going to get slammed into Bitcoin at those levels. Because people realize, or at least they expect, that it's going to go back up, right? They expect it's going to make new highs. So it'll be interesting. It'll be very interesting to see what happens in the next couple of months. And I, for one, am going to be watching closely and, making sure that I have stop losses in play. So.
Okay, guys, so that's a very good sign, of course. And then over this part, he also had some interesting comments about taking out credit, guys. When we get to that level, I would never take out a loan to buy cryptocurrency, guys. I would only do it with money I have left over. Cash is trash, as Dirty Dowdy said, guys. So use the cash you have. If you have what you don't need, of course. But only if you really know what you are doing, and then even in that case, I would only buy a house or a business, things that produce cash flow, and not cryptocurrency, because it's still high risk, guys. It's a very early market. You never know what's going to happen, and it doesn't produce any cash flow, so I wouldn't take out credit for to buy that. But that's also my opinion. And let's move on to this comment over here. This is also very interesting.
Will I be buying with money that I didn't plan on? So, in other words, I plan on putting back in the money that I cashed out when it reaches the levels that I expect. The reload zone for me is between 4,200 and 7,200. So I have bids right now on the exchanges to buy in those zones. But if we keep falling and we get down to $1,300, I'm going to be taking money that I never planned on buying cryptocurrency with, and I'm going to be buying as much cryptocurrency as I can get my hands on, reasonably speaking, because I think that it will be the last time we ever see prices that low. Of course, we could go to zero, but I'm willing to take that risk. I'm willing to leverage my credit lines to take that risk at $1,300, okay? So let me just, again, I'm not telling you not to buy anything. I just want to put that out there.
Okay guys, so to sum this information up for you in a short summary, basically this guy called four correct moves. From the first one is the move from 7k to 14k for Bitcoin, and he also called way before it happened the correction to 6 or 7k, which also will of course play out. After that, in between, he called the top for Litecoin as well, very close to it, and it's a 75% correction or 70% correction, so also very close to what happened. So that's really nice. And now he's calling for $1,300 Bitcoin, guys. He is bullish within a bearish bias, so he's just waiting for lower prices because he thinks we didn't see the bottom yet, and we just been through a B wave correction, and then we're going to see real panic come into the market sooner or later when people find out it's not a bull market. And when that happens, guys, it's probably going to be the institutions buying at that point, and then he thinks the biggest bull market we have ever seen for Bitcoin, so that means around 100k, 200k, 300k, 400k Bitcoin is what could happen in his opinion, and he's prepared to take out credit in that point of time to buy Bitcoin, and that proves to me as well, guys, that this guy has assets. So basically he has real estate or stocks or net value of net worth of probably more than $1 million, and he can take out loans to buy stuff because he has a high net worth. So that also of course tells me he knows what he's doing. So then I want to go into the chart and show you something else as well. We have to go back to the cowboy zone. This is early 2012, I think, yes. We had the biggest drop in Bitcoin's history, and if we want to look back at the big drop, because that's what he's calling for, to be honest, then yeah, we can see if something like that ever happened before in the history of Bitcoin. So I'm going to take out my calculator now, and I'll do it over here so you guys can see. So if we look at the biggest drop in Bitcoin's history, we went over here in this correction. We went from $32, guys, to a low of $2. So if we take that into a measurement, we take the new price, which is 2, we reduce it by the old price, the old high, 32. And we do a little bit of math. We can see the correction was 93.75%. So that's of course a big down move. And if we would take the same measurement for the bubble of 2017, let's see what price we come up with then. So we do this plus 100, divided by 100 to get the percentages, and then we do this the bubble of 2017 high to calculate what the bottom will be if we had the same correction like this, which was an insane sell-off, of course, which also will tend to happen in Bitcoin then. So you have this insane rallies to the upside, but also it can crash very hard. So if we do that, guys, and guess what that lines up with? $1,200 Bitcoin. So it will be similar to this big drop. And that's what he's calling for. So I wanted to share this information with you because I found this very interesting to watch, and to just show you guys the other side of the coin as well, and that everything is possible in this market. And I agree with him that when panic sets in, guys, we have seen this in 2008 as well in the stock market crash. People just capitulate, take the loss and leave the market, and that was something also could happen to Bitcoin, of course, if we do not go up in the coming months. So yeah, Basically, the coming months are a pivotal moment for Bitcoin. Are we going to see a new uptrend, or are we going to see a major crash? I do not see Bitcoin going sideways for a year. Every year, as I pointed out in yesterday's video, definitely watch yesterday's video as well, guys. I'll put the link in the description. You see that every year Bitcoin tends to show a very big move. So for example, in 2017 we went from $1,000 to 20k. 2019 we dropped from 20k to 3k. 2018 and 2019 we pumped up from 3k to 14k. So we'll see what happens in 2020. But what you can see is that everything is possible, and that's also what he's pointing out. So always stay open to all the possibilities. Okay, that was the most important information I wanted to share with you guys today. Take this information as you want. It's just a scenario. We look at it in a neutral way. So we'll wait to see what happens. Of course, the coming weeks and months are very important for the next, for the rest of this year. So that's definitely exciting. I hope this information was valuable for you guys. I hope it was entertaining as well. So it quite excited me, and we'll see what's going to happen. I hope to see you in the next video and provide more content for you and more important information via this channel. So definitely subscribe in the next video.